With all the news about AI development every single day, don't you wish there's an easy way to keep yourself up to date with the headlines? By the end of this video, you'll know how to create a workflow which fetches the latest AI news using Perplexity Sonar Search delivered to your email or Telegram. Let's dive into it. So jumping right into the build, the first thing you want to do is to add a trigger node, which is an on-schedule trigger. The reason for that is you want the workflow to execute at a specific time during the day, and each day obviously to fetch you the latest news. So for example, I would want the news or the workflow to be executed at 9 a.m. every day. So that's the on-schedule trigger. I'm just going to execute that so I get the output ready here. And then the next node that I want to do is to add a Perplexity message, a model node. And in this case, I don't have any Perplexity API credential set up just yet, so I'm going to try to get that. So I'm assuming most of you already know what Perplexity is, what Perplexity does. Essentially, Perplexity is one of the LLM wrappers. I believe it's OpenAI. I might be wrong there, but the way I think of it is that Perplexity is the best LLM, at least in my experience, when it comes to search, right? So for me, it performs the best in terms of trying to search the latest information, factual information from the internet. So because in this particular workflow, the purpose of it is to get the most accurate news and the latest news. That's the reason why Perplexity is a great use case. So if you have not signed in into Perplexity before, what you want to do is to go ahead and sign in, right? And you can just go with the free plan. You don't have to download anything just yet. And the free plan doesn't come with the API, of course, but what you want to do is you want to go to basically your account here, and then go to settings, go to API, and you want to create a new API group. In this case, I'm just going to literally call it n8n APIs. I'm going to save that. Okay, so it's going to ask for a payment details, right? So you can just put $5 in there just to start using it. But essentially, yes, in order to use the API, you're going to need to enter some form of payment details. So just go ahead and do that. Okay, so once you've entered the payment details, what you could do now is to go to the API key section, and it says, please buy more credits. Okay, so what you need to do is go back here, and yeah, you're just gonna buy more credits, right? So I'm gonna buy, can I buy $2? No, $3 is a minimum. So I'm just gonna buy $3. Cool. Now that $3 topped up, what you do is go back to your API key section and do a create key, and there we go. That's the API key that you want to copy, and then go back to your n8n and paste that API key. Click on save, and boom, there you go. There's that connected successfully. Now, once you've connected, the operation you want to select is message a model. And from here, you can pick any type of models you want. Of course, we're not doing deep research at this point. This is just an AI news. But if your use case is to say develop a thesis or build a case study or a business case study, deep research is going to be perfect for that. But for this case, we're going to choose Sonar Pro. And in terms of the input for the text, we're going to have a fixed input because again, this is not going to change. It's going to be an on-schedule trigger. So we're going to say, what are the latest headlines in AI development in the past 24 hours, let's say, right? Include any model launches or notable market news, for example, right? Cool, and of course you can customize it further, depending on your needs. If you're an engineer, maybe you want to customize it, to whatever you want. And if you're, say, just somebody who, let's say, invests in, kind of AI stocks and stuff like that, you can also include the nuances that you probably want within the message. And of course, just to make sure that it also has a system message. In this case, again, system message is the message that defines the role of this particular LLM or this particular agent that we're creating. So what I did was I just have a prompt. I just asked GPT to come up with a system prompt. So here you are. This is the full thing, right? You're cutting edge AI news researcher, da da da. All right, cool. So that is that. I'm gonna execute step, and so there's an error here after the optional message. Okay, so yeah, this is a typical error that you come across when you work with Perplexity. It always wants the system prompt to be the first prompt and the user prompt to be the second. So just kind of drag that up is what I did, and execute the step again. All right, there you go. So one thing to note is that with Perplexity, it will give you an output in terms of the citations as well as the search result that has gone through to give you the output that you need, right? So these are the latest AI development headlines. Blah, blah, blah. Let's put it on table so that it's easy for you to read. Sorry. Let's move this here. So you have the search results, you have the choices, and where was the message? Sorry. So let's go back to the schema. Anyway, let me just attach it to another model. So if you have this as an output, for example, your output, could be Gmail, could be Telegram, whatever, right? So let's do a send a message through Gmail. So if I've got to connect the Gmail account, and if you are not sure how to do that, it's super easy. You can just actually, I'll show you right here. So you can just sign in with Google and you're pretty much connected. But anyway, so the resources message, operation send to, in this case, I'm gonna type in my own Gmail so that it sends it to me, right? So the subject could be AI news update in the last 24 hours. Email type could be text, and then the message could be basically the content of the message here. So let's execute that step, and let's look at what that looks like. So there we go. There's the latest AI development headlines, DeepMind, AI talent search. Okay, so these are all in the past 24 hours, and that's looking good. So one of the things that you can do is also, if you go back to the Perplexity node, you can add an option with a recency filter. So search recency filter, if you want to be super specific in terms of, only want the news that's in the past week or maybe even the past day, because it's 24 hours, then you can add that recency filter to make sure that it's only fetching the latest news for you, right? So that's something that Perplexity has, which I did not see in other models. So that's super helpful. And in the past, Perplexity would kick out an output that includes a thinking process. I think it recently, probably just a couple of days ago, changed that format, which right now is actually giving you an output that is just the output that you can read off. But in the case just last week, I think, it used to give you the thinking process, so you need to actually exclude the thinking process. So what I used to do, let me just check if that's the case. Yeah, so it only gives you the output here. But it used to be you have to add another agent in between to just filter out the thinking process and format it before it kicks it out to your send message node. So well, of course, in between you can add another AI agent still just as a formatter agent, right? Because the format that it kicks out to your email is not very clean. As you can see, it's not very readable. So you can have a formatter agent in between with a specific chat model. So in this case, let's just pick OpenAI as the as the LLM model, of course with a simple memory. And what's that? So we don't need a tool there, but let's give it a system prompt. So with the user prompt, let's just drag the whole content here. There's a user message. We're going to add a system message or a helpful formatter assistant. You will receive a chunk of AI headlines and news. Your job is to format it such that it is in an easily readable format for email. Okay, so again, if you want it to be super optimized, just put it into GPT, put it into some form of LLM, just give you a prompt engineered kind of system message. That will be better, but I'm just typing on the fly here. So there's a problem with the memory note. Let's just delete that. Actually, you don't really need a memory, but so let's just run that. And then you can add the memory. I always feel that that's an easy workaround because a lot of times you'll error out, and it just doesn't let you do anything when it's in error. So now you can add back the simple memory note, and then the key, which is a session key. You could always take the basically this ID right here, right? And let me see if that's the right ID. Timestamp. Yeah, I mean, you can use that message as the ID. Just run it one more time. Okay, and let's set it to the, okay. So now we need to change because we added a note now. we need to change the output into the output from the Formula AI agent and not the Perplexity message model agent. And probably I could rename that to research agent. Okay, so let's try out that note, and it should kick out a new email. So there we go. Slightly more readable, again, formatting slightly better, but of course, with a bit more prompt engineering, you could give it a better system prompt. So there you have it, an easy one for you to create a research agent that will fetch you the latest AI headline news without you having to scour the internet every day or going to Perplexity yourself to type it in. This will just send the latest headlines to you, to your email every single day. And of course, if you want to switch the email to a Telegram chat, whatever that you're most often spending your time on, you can easily do that by changing this to a Telegram node. And if you don't know how to set that up, please look at my other videos where I'll guide you through a step-by-step process on how to get set up on Telegram. And yeah, it's as easy as setting it up on email as well. So hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any question in this build, and let me know if you have any other ideas on any other type of builds that you want to see me do. And if you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one.